Terry Branham-Clark could not be with us tonight. Branham-Clark is here. Good to have you with us. Let's begin by having a 2-minute opening statement.
Thank you, Jim. It's my pleasure to be here tonight, and I first want to talk about an incident that occurred today. I know this is supposed to be talking about me, but I just want to thank God for the safety of the law enforcement officers at the Boyd County Sheriff's Department and the Ashland Police Department today. Pretty serious incident here in our community, and I just thank God that those officers came out safe, and it's truly an honor to serve with those men and women of both of those departments, and we have top-notch law enforcement community here, and I just want to thank God for that, for keeping them safe tonight, first and foremost. In speaking with that, a lot of people say, Brian, why are you running for this? And to give you a brief background of myself, I'm a 22-year law enforcement official with the Ashland Police Department, as I alluded to earlier. It truly has been my honor to serve the people and the community of Ashland, and it is that deep desire to serve and be a volunteer within the community that's driven my run at the state representative race. First and foremost for me, I'm a family man. I have a great wife, Amanda. 24 years I've been married to the pillar of the backbone of our relationship. She's by far an amazing woman, and I wouldn't be on this stage tonight or in front of you tonight without her, and I truly appreciate her. She's blessed me with 2 wonderful children. Casey, who is taking advantage of an opportunity to educate himself here locally and hopefully capitalize on Brady Industries and that endeavor. And also my youngest son, Drew, who that's where the other half of my heart's at tonight. He's playing football tonight, and I really wish I could be here with him at his event. But, you know, he understands how important this event is, how important it is to get out in front of the community and share that desire to serve.
Let's get right to the questions and let's sort of stay on that topic you're talking about on why you're interested, but let's talk more importantly, your background. How do you think it's prepared you to be a state representative?
Truly the greatest thing that law enforcement has taught me is how to work with people. How to understand and take bad situations and get people to the point of compromise and understanding. You know, we often, and it's the national political scene, we see everybody fighting against this, fighting against that, and I truly think we've lost sight of what our goals are, and that's the people. The title of my campaign was Let's Work Together. We're not going to be successful if we continually fight against each other. Let's work together. And as a law enforcement officer, you learn how to get people to get along. You have people that will walk away from a certain circumstance and they're not happy with the end result, but they understand why you're there, and you stay focused on that. And that's you know, truly what law enforcement has taught me, is how to relate to people, how to understand where they're at, and get people to work together for a common good. And that's what I would like to do.
You heard me talk to Mr. Bentley about the pension problem that the state has. And even though they did fund the pension, it was struck down by the court, and it's going to have to be redone again. Your thoughts on that is if you get elected and go to Franklin?
Certainly, and I really sit here tonight from a little bit of a biased opinion because I am a public pensioner. 22 years of public pensions. I've sat through now 2 different changes within our public pensions. First change was they increased the years of service for hazardous duty employees, and I think back to the men and women that were serving today during that incident where there was a shooting took place. I think what legislators fail to realize in that extending the years of service in hazardous duties, that's 5 more years of risk of a family. Every day I put on a gun and a badge, and that might be the last day that I go out. People don't really understand that. I think the legislature failed to understand that that's 5 more years. That's 5 more years of risk to that police officer. Second change I went through was just a few years back where the changes occurred in 2013 to the cash hybrid system. You know, obviously we can't continue to ignore the unfunded liability. That's kind of what's happened over the last several years. I'm not really here to blame one party or the other. I don't think that accomplishes anything. Let's acknowledge that we didn't fund it. Let's acknowledge that we put money elsewhere. That pension money went elsewhere. We funded other things with that. And not to say that those programs weren't worthy of funding. We just didn't fund the pensions. That's our obligation. If we commit, the Commonwealth of Kentucky cannot commit, make a promise, and then go back on that promise. I've heard many times that I have recently that I have allies in Frankfurt that don't support public pensions. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, I 100% support public pensions, and let's just dispel that rumor right here.
Amen.
Let's talk about the state budget. I talked with Mr. Bentley about that a little bit too. It's struggling, as most budgets are. What's the legislature got to do to try and figure out how to stabilize the state budget?
I'd like to word it something like this. I like to keep our money close to home. Nobody takes care of their money like they do. One of the things that the state legislature we have to do is streamline our state legislature. Government has got way too big. Our money has got further and further away from home, and we need to keep that money locally as much as possible. We need to put that money in the hands of the taxpayers here, the businesses here, the people that want to grow here in Boyd County, and that stands true for elsewhere. So, number one, we need to look at our government and see where we can tighten our belt first. I think, you got to clean your own house before you go telling other people how to clean their house. So we need to look at that. We need to look at our tax system. We need to continue to improve that tax system. There's a lot of positives going on right now. We have momentum rolling in this area. We don't need to fall back. We need to continue to support policies that are going to promote economic development. We need to have a competitive tax structure here in Kentucky. We just recently lost banks. We lost a bank to West Virginia. Do you know why? The tax rate in West Virginia for that bank is a lot less than it is here in Kentucky. If we're not competitive with our tax rate, we're going to lose businesses like those banks. And that's jobs. That's 40 jobs here in Boyd County, Kentucky that we're losing. And we can probably attribute that directly to some tax rates. So we need to adjust those things to make our businesses, things like our banks, competitive.
Let's talk about another problem that is a huge problem, not just in Kentucky, but all across the country, and that's the opioid problem. And, it's frightening when you stop and think about the drug problem. I'm sure, being in law enforcement, know all about that. But on the other side, trying to legislate, what can you do? What do you feel the legislature needs to do to try to correct this problem, try to contain this problem, try to solve this problem?
Sure. I've spent 22 years in law enforcement, and if you've paid attention to the campaign trail, you've paid attention to Facebook, you'll understand that 7 of the years that I've served with the National Police Department, I also did task force work, and that was service all over the eastern part of the state of Kentucky. I worked with the Kentucky State Police through Drug Enforcement Special Investigations. It has taken me a long time to get to this point, Jim, but early on in my career, I was all about locking them up. Lock them up, put them away. What we found is we can't lock up enough people. We can't build prisons fast enough to do that. Law enforcement, opioids, we have to approach those issues with compassion. We have to approach those issues with fairness. All these things we're talking about tonight all work together. The tax system, opioids, jobs, all those things work together. A lot of people frown at giving second, third, and fourth chances. We can't ignore those people. We have to approach opioids with compassion and understanding. We have to give law enforcement the tools available, the top-notch tools available to, number one, fight it to keep it out. It's a two-step process. We got to fight it and keep it out of our state and out of our country. We've got MS-13. You hear that nationally, MS-13. We've got that here. It's important that we fight that and keep it out of our country and out of our state. So let's give law enforcement those tools available to keep that out of here. That's number one. And then on another, we need to look at justice reform for our addicts, for our people that are trying to rehabilitate, because if we don't provide those people with job opportunities, if we keep a felony on their record and they always have to put that down on a job application, it's going to be very difficult for those people to get top-notch jobs. And we're going to keep them in low-paying jobs that are going to continue to keep them in that cycle.
That's right, too.
Final question I'll ask you is this. This is sort of an open seat with 2 candidates running who haven't served before. What makes you the most qualified?
I think my professional experience, my commitment, my dedication. I've been 22 years in professional law enforcement experience. I have a degree from Marshall University. I've graduated from the Department of Criminal Justice. I've graduated from the Leadership Academy with the Department of Criminal Justice. I have work experience. I own a small successful business right now that does property management and renovation. So I feel that I'm the candidate that understands people at the ground level. I'm not a rich man by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a police officer. That's why I have a second job, most of us do. And I think that experience and that understanding of the working people of Boyd County gives me a unique perspective that maybe my opponent can't give to them. 22 years of the same job, work experience directly with people, hardworking people, understanding who they are, where they come from. I grew up in Rockdale. I love Rockdale. If you're a Boyd County person, you understand where Rockdale's at. Probably not the best neighborhood right now, but I am proud that I grew up there. I'm proud that my parents still live there. I still live here, you know, obviously here. I've raised my kids here. It's important to me. Family's important to me. Family's important to the people and the voters of Boyd County. And that's how I intend to legislate. We are a family. We have to work together as a family. And my legislative career is going to keep my family in the back of my mind, because my family is your family, and that's truly how I feel.
All right, I want to thank you for answering the questions. We'll give you 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Thank you. I've kind of alluded to many of the things that are important to me. You know, number one, obviously, family is important to me. The economy here locally is important to me. The economy that we're seeing now didn't happen overnight. There are many people that must be thanked for their hard work and dedication. There were some people that saw a great opportunity in Five-Co area development, seeing East Park and that. Those things all were building blocks. I'm not going to pretend like I developed those things. I didn't. But those things, there's so many community partners. You know, we put a lot of hope and everything in Brady, and Brady's a top-notch company. But there are so many things other than Brady that are going to come our way. We've got that economic engine growing. What I'd like to say is a growing economy is going to keep our families together. I've kind of said that those things all work together, and they truly do. Without jobs, we're going to struggle to pay pensions. Without jobs, we're going to keep fighting this opioid epidemic. And so it's important that our tax climate and our structure, that we put economic development out front. We have top-notch economic developers. You know, all the way down in Greenup County, you've got Bobby Allen, Bobby Carpenter. Here locally, you have economic developers. You've got the Ashland Alliance, just top-notch people. The legislature needs to continue to provide hope to our area. We need to be first in front of the lines that are asking for those incentives and those that help to come to our area. I really look forward to representing. It's continued services for me is how I look at going to the legislature from the police department. It's really a continued service, and I really would ask for your vote come November 6th, elect Branham-Clark. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Branham-Clark, Republican candidate for State Representative 100th District.